G'day, this is Ben from Goatzilla, chatting to Crispy from Heavy Mag, and this is all about our upcoming album, Alien Nation, which released 16 of August. So our first album that we've dropped since 2019. So massively excited and massively stoked to be here talking to Crispy about it.
Beautiful, Ben. Thanks for joining us tonight, brother. So, as you say, Godzilla unleashed your new album, Alien Nation, this Friday,
Goatzilla,
August the
Goatzilla.
16th. So, you say you're excited about it, bro, but that's got to be an understatement. Like, there's been a long time between albums. You put a lot into this, bro. Like, how are you feeling? Do you think that it finally captured the true Godzilla sound?
I don't know if there's the sounds of is always evolving and growing, but this one it's different from Muthafukarsaurus. We absolutely love it. It's still certainly heavy. It's got that heavy the heavy background. It's got still got the punk roots very much. So we're still very much a punk rock band, but bringing in more elements of metal as we're evolving. This is all stuff that's been written probably through COVID and so on, and with the two Pete's, P1 and P2, coming in and throwing their stuff in, and Mick as well, our drummer, who brought the real, because he's a good 15 plus years younger than us, and he brought some more modern metal vibes and sensibilities to it. So yeah, look, we're really excited. It took a lot longer than we originally thought because of COVID and everything that went along with it. We ended up recording it all ourselves. There's one track on there Guy Cooper from Serotonin recorded, which is Nightmare, and Guy helped me out with the vocals because I don't have the patience to sit there and bloody hack away at Logic and and try to second guess my vocals. So he did that, but everything else, all the guitars, all the drums, and the bass, we recorded in home studios, and P2 Pete Jansen mixed and mastered everything himself. So big learning curve, but absolutely loved it. And the results speak for themselves. I'm absolutely stoked. We're really excited with what we've put together, and especially having it on vinyl too. So stoked.
Cool. Now, I had to listen to it before we had a chat tonight, and the first thing that jumped out at me was it's very guitar driven. Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah, I mean, we're a guitar band, and that's where that's where everything all the music we love is heavily guitar based and comes from guitar heroes. From there's bluesy stuff there. P2 is a huge Slash fan, and P1's a big Steve Vai fan. We all love Van Halen. We all love Kerry King. We all love Stevie Ray Vaughan, even going back that far, kind of thing. So there's all these different mixtures of different influences. But yeah, it's all about the guitars. Both the guys play solos, different styles, and they take turns on different songs. There's a couple of songs on there, like Alien Nation, the title cut, where they both have a crack at the solo, and they take turns on it. But yeah, it's all about good old 70s/80s face melting guitar solos.
So you're trying to tell me that you've got two guitarists with no egos in the band. That's got to be a first.
We've been really lucky. I mean, the whole thing with the band is, yeah, it's because musicians. This might come as a surprise to some people. But musicians can be funny people, and ego does get in the way a lot of times. But one of the reasons that we've just stuck together so well is that everybody gets on, and we all love the same music. And I'm really fortunate to be playing with a bunch of very talented guys. It's both the Pete's, Mick, we've actually got two drummers at the moment. So we've got Mick, the drummer who played on most of the tracks. Now we've got Tiago as well. And they're both coming in and taking turns playing, because Tiago plays, as drummers do, play in a couple of other bands. But Mick's always happy to jump in if Tiago can't make it. But they're all incredibly talented, and there's all this amazing, huge amount of respect for everybody's abilities, and everybody brings something different musically to the mix. So writing's a lot of fun. It's probably part of the process, that getting a song from a concept and turning it into something that's a fully blown song it's my favorite part of the process. And we're back to doing that now. So we've got this album out of the way. So we just at the last rehearsal, we started working on new stuff, and that's fun. But that's for next year. So Alienation's happening now. But yeah, there's no egos. We're lucky. We just got a bunch of really, really good guys who we just get along, and which is important, because you spend a lot of time in cars and in rehearsal studios with each other. And we're just all good mates, and we all love the same music, and we all love making loud noise, which is what it's all about.
Damn straight, brother. Now, to date, you've released the singles Secret Agent Man and the title track Alienation. So, are they a good sonic representation of what to expect from the overall album?
They're both a bit different. There's a real mix. Secret Agent Man's pretty funky. We've had some people dancing the Macarena to it.
Oh, yeah.
Don't often see that in a metal gig, I can tell you. That's a bit funny. But no, it's a fun track. It's got a bit of a funky vibe to it. Alienation is that's how would you describe that? That's both the Pete share solos on that. And that's a lot of fun, but not as funky, but there's a bit of vocal harmonization going on in that. And then in the other tracks, we do, we go through some heavier and some darker stuff, things like Pain, and Wall Street Generals. They tackle a few more serious kind of concepts. And then there's a bit more fun kind of, 70s based rock. We do Nightmare, which is more of an akadaka type thing. And Leave It All Behind, which is a little bit more, it's starting to head more into the metal territory. And then you've got Black Dog Blues, which is a real kind of, as the name implies, a bluesy rock song. So that's more like, Rose Tattoo / The Poor, kind of that Aussie rock, 70s, 80s Aussie rock, pub rock vibe. So yeah.
Oh. Now, speaking of concepts, mate, like, is the album a look into the alien world through the eyes of Goatzilla, or is it just a cool name to call the album?
It's the name of the track Alienation that we came up with, and the lyrics that the song went through a couple of different incarnations, different lyrics to it. And this one I came up with it was all about just how much we love playing. And so and we kind of, because it was around COVID, and kind of all the venues are starting to close down, and all the festivals and everything are disappearing. And we're going, look, we're just thinking, what's happening to all this group of people? We've got this, like, the tribe of people who love music that we used to go out and spend weekends with, and you just see all these different people, and we're not seeing them anymore because all the music's disappeared because of COVID. And the song's just about those friendships that you make in the music scene, and just whether you're playing in a band or just going out as part of the crowd, you start seeing a lot of the same people, and you make really good friendships. You form bonds, and it's about that. It's about music being something that we all love, and the vibe being at a concert, but it's bigger than the sum of its parts kind of thing.
Yeah.
And with it disappearing with COVID and so on, we're getting alienated kind of thing. So that was the idea behind that track, and we just thought it was a cool name for the album, so we made it the title cut.
That's sweet. Now, Goatzilla, like, musically, essentially you're a punk thrash metal band, sort of hybrid of all of those. But in the writing and recording process, like, how do you decide how much of which style to put into each song? Like, have you got a method to sort of know when you've gone too far or not far enough?
We just work on it. I mean, it's really person who came up with the concept usually has that they've got the call at the end of the day, because you got to have somebody who's kind of in artistic control. It can't be like this total communal thing. At the end of the day, you've got to have it's one person's vision, because songwriting is it's a very personal thing, and you can share concepts and you can share the idea about where a song's going to go. But at the end of the day, you still need one person to make the call. So we'll all throw in ideas into the pot and we'll all work them and give all the ideas a red hot crack. And we come up with some amazing stuff like that. But at the end of the day, if it's something that I wrote, I get the say. If it's something
Oh, yeah.
P1 wrote, he gets it. P2 wrote, he gets the end say in what happens. But yeah, in the main, it's a collaborative process. But yeah, it's fun. So.
Now, you mentioned before that Alienation is quite different to 2019's album Muthafukarsaurus. So, how so? Like, how is it different?
Muthafukarsaurus was really punky, because that was the first incarnation of Goatzilla, and a lot of that came out from we started off playing a lot of the punk gigs. Johnny Chaos, who started the band with me, he was really into his oi and street punk, and we played a lot of gigs with the awesome bands like Plan of Attack and Shandy and Rat Bastards and so on, and that was a lot of fun. And there's a real vibe and an energy to that kind of music, and it was all about attitude. There's like, it's 80-20 attitude kind of then music. And this way now we've swapped it around a bit, so it's we've still got there's still a lot of punk sensibilities in there, in that we do what we do, and we're not trying to fit a formula, or we're trying to fit a particular style. But because of the backgrounds of both the Pete's and Mick, and more recently Tiago, there's a lot more musical focus on musicianship and what we're doing there. So it's kind of evolving and morphing, and we're just seeing where it takes us, and we record it and go, do we like it? Yeah, we like it. And we're taking the old Malcolm Young approach. We do what we do, and we don't give a fuck about what anybody else thinks. And we're just lucky that people seem to like it. So, and we'll keep doing that.
I guess the big question is, like, will fans of your earlier stuff on Motherfuckersaurus still like the stuff on Alienation?
Yeah, they will. We actually redid one of the tracks. So we redid Fight to Win. So for fans of Fight to Win, we've done Fight to Win round 2. And we've got we've amped that up a bit, and added a few bits and pieces there. So you can, if anybody's interested, you can compare the two different versions, and that's probably a good yardstick as to how we do it. It's just that we're playing that song that we always close off our gigs with, that one. And yeah, we just thought it was a good little exercise to put that in at the end of the album.
Sweet. Now, Goatzilla are partway through a tour that started back on June the 6th in Newcastle.
Yeah.
Picks up again in Port Kembla on October the 5th, before going to Lismore and Melbourne, and finishing in Ipswich on November the 16th, mate. So how's the first round of shows going? They go all right?
Yeah, no, it was brilliant. So the run to Sydney was really cool. We had it was first gig was a little bit quieter than we'd hoped, simply because it was pissing down rain in Newcastle. We still got people turning up, which was good, but then the weather cleared up and people started coming out after that. So played some awesome venues. Did the Cabin Collective in Maitland, which was absolutely brilliant. That's fun. That's like it's a tattoo shop with a cafe in it. Now, at the back of the cafe and tattoo shop, they put on live bands. So that was cool. And there's a recording studio upstairs as well. So that was brilliant. And then we played Elton Chong's in Penrith, which was once again really, really cool. Little small, narrow dive bar, and had an absolute ball there. Played Bootleggers in Newtown, which was also really cool. They're trying to kind of pick up the slack from after Frankie's kind of had to fold in Sydney. But yeah, that first one was really cool. In a couple of weeks, we've got to update the calendar. We've got Port Macquarie on Friday the 6th, and then the back room at Coffs on Saturday the 7th. So Port Macquarie's at Planet Skate, and that's shaping up to be quite a big one. So the management there's looking at about 200 heads through the door, which is going to be fantastic. And we're getting a lot of help with a lot of really cool local bands as well. So we're excited to be playing with them. And the back room, we're just starting to pump that at the moment. So we're hoping to get a decent turnout for that. But yeah, loving the touring. Love playing Southeast Queensland at home, but it's also great to get out into the wild and meet new people and play new venues and play with new bands as well.
Yeah, and then where can people find out more information about those shows and grab tickets if they're in those areas?
If you get onto if you go onto Facebook, our Facebook page, Goatzilla .rocks, and or if you go Linktree Goatzilla.rocks, we've got all of the information there.
Sweet. Now, for those who might not have seen Goatzilla live before and they're unsure whether to go or not, run us through a typical Goatzilla live show.
It's fairly fast, fairly furious. We don't stop for a lot of breaks. The guys don't get much of a chance to retune or anything. We kind of we start off hard and fast and keep the pace up all the way through. So it's all about that vibe of like live small venue rock, a little bit older school. So if you're 70s, 80s, 90s fan, that kind of style, where you, especially the kind of thrashier stuff as well, you'll love it. It's an experience.
Beautiful. But all right, mate. Well, thanks very much for your time tonight. Alien Nation is out this Friday, August 16th, and she is a fucking good album, mate. Like I said, I had to listen before, and she's a cracker, mate. So best of luck with it, and hope to see you in the Brizzy show soon.